Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good day in the market. It is Friday, July 25th. Hope you had a good week. Still sick over here. Today, I think I'm a little better though, thankfully. Thanks for being here. I'm going to review 0-day options today. I took on SPY, building this small account challenge. Yesterday, not so good. There were some good setups. I was sick and not focused and should have taken it a little easier. Day before wasn't too bad. I was red like 3 trades in a row, and then one green trade made up for it. So today, back in the green. Imagine that on a Friday. It was 2 trades, 2 green trades. So I'm gonna review them here real quick. Low volume, melt up grind day. My lines were just lining up perfect today. That definitely helps. I didn't look at Emperor's chart, which sometimes helps me, sometimes might be at a disadvantage. But yeah, today very just low volume, grimy. Just liquidity all morning here. And on the 30-minute, yeah, we're just all-time highs, just melting up top upper Bollinger Band with 5-day below us. Not even having a pullback, so just killed off all the puts for this week. But yeah, some good trades here. So a trade I talk about pretty often that I don't always take is liquidity breakout trades. I'm like, oh, you could take it just on the break and that's your stop. Pretty straightforward. It's a good trade because you're opening it up right where your stop is. I actually took that trade today. I was thinking it's a Friday. There might not be many good setups. It might be grindy, and I'm just going to go for it. So this was a liquidity clearly built this morning, and I basically took it somewhere in there. Let's see, 1035. You've got to be quick on this because, yeah, you don't. It's more of a scalp trade. Because this could be the head, and that's kind of what you have to have in the back of your head. That this might be the head for this shoulder. But looking at it, you can see a little inverse head and shoulder here too. I just wasn't trying to trade in this range. But if you look, purple, it did break purple, and then kind of retested here with these two, this area at least. So you could have gotten it on a retest on one of these. But yeah, I wasn't trying to mess around with this liquidity this morning. So I got it right here. This big candle came up, ton of volume. So that definitely helped with conviction, was the volume. It did wick, but to me that wasn't a problem because my stop is basically right in this area. So 1035, I actually opened on this candle. Early on in this candle, it was pretty much right here. So that was first trade, opened it there. It came up. I didn't have this gold line yet. I don't think, or maybe I adjusted it because it looks like it hit there. Mine was a little higher what I had. It was up here somewhere. Okay, so this blue line up here is yesterday's high. That's right. Okay. So I grabbed it and I actually held through and sat through this, and I wanted to get it on. Well, I had a few different profit targets. One was yesterday's high for sure. Another would have been top of this white. I think, yeah. I don't think I had this gold at that point. But I closed it, bought it for 60 cents, closed it for 73 at 1047. So right here. Yeah, right after we touched high a day, or yesterday's high, I closed on this one. That's a pretty big wick, pretty big volume. Yeah, so I'm happy with that exit. That's for this price action. I'm very pleased how that worked. Potentially I might be taking these more. It's just got to be the right setup. I mean, it's got to be clear liquidity that's breaking out of, got to have volume, and you kind of just have to pull the trigger quick and not overanalyze it, and just be strict on your stop if it comes back in. So on futures, this could be nice because I would literally just open it here and set my stop for like right here and just leave it, and then it could do all this grinding, and you know, who knows, come back later in the day and just see where it's at. But for options, 0 day doesn't quite work like that. So once the account's at, I think, $1,000 I need for futures, I might start throwing that in here too for the small account. Certain days, I think like Fridays is probably a good idea for futures, and then trades in the middle of the day, I'd probably do futures between like 11:45 and 1:30. Those days, those hours I don't do very well with options just because of it's just chopping usually, low volume, if there is a trade. So that was the first trade, and I was stoked, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna step away, and still kind of laying down and resting and recovering. But it started to build liquidity up here, and let's see. So we have purple as one of the liquidity builders. My lines are actually quite a bit different than Emperor's today. So here's Emperor's. Let's see. So he did end up having that one. I have this steeper one here. Yeah. Kind of interesting. My lines were working for me though, so it's whatever. This purple is kind of the resistance, the bulls building liquidity. So as you can see here, it broke it and then it retested it kind of perfectly. And so a possible entry here, of course you have liquidity down here, so rejecting down here is another one, which it did do up here, right here. Not too far under there, but this is a nice reversal candle also, signified by larger volume and that wick, and it's a larger candle, engulfing candle to that red one. But right here, yeah, this could have been an entry right here on the retest, especially if you had this red channel. I didn't have this one in there yet. But anytime it start grinding up, then I'd throw in this white and just crack it. So came back down, did the same thing, broke it. You have, you know, shoulders up here building and heads, but it still needs more liquidity, so it continues to go sideways. It did break this magenta to the top side right here, but just briefly. And then it came down. It was a little further away from the purple this time, but it did retest it in a way. And then I think at this point I had gold up at this point. So this was pretty awesome. Lines were just lining up. So retested this gold nicely. Big engulfing candle with volume. Close to VWAP, not quite. And so that would have been a nice entry also. I was not paying attention at this point. I was just chilling. But I did start to pay attention. Felt like trading again. Once it came back up here, and then I drew this magenta. And I was like, all right, well, what we have here, it's respecting this gold. It keeps breaking purple and retesting, so I'm gonna look for it to do that again for potential to the upside. We've got a shoulder here and a head here, and it's grabbing this shoulder, and it's wedging between this red and this gold. So this execution I was pumped on. Came down, retested the gold again. I don't know if you call that engulfing on the green one, maybe. But bounced right off of it and broke the purple, and that's where I got in, right there. So it was pretty clear today, for whatever reason. 1207. Yeah, got it on this candle, and then my stop is breaking this gold. So if it comes down and breaks that, I would have gotten out. But got in on this one pretty early. Maybe it was on a retest, I don't know. I can't remember. But just chilled there for a little bit, and then came up, and then we got volume, and it started to rip. And only one contract, so it's a little tricky on closing, when to close it. Of course, I wanted the gold to close, but given that it's a Friday and I'm sick, I'm not trying to be a hero. I'm never trying to be a hero on the market for sure, but some days I might be more aggressive, sometimes to my demise. But I did end up closing it right here, I think. Let's see, 12, 13. Yeah, actually on that candle. So part of the reason I closed here is because actually I did click over on Emperor's chart to see if he had any resistances there, and he did. He had magenta there, or this blue one he had. So I didn't have that yet. I only had the one up here, which he doesn't even have. So that's another reason why I closed it there. I was looking for an exit on it, and I liked that exit. It did continue to rip higher. I checked it when it was up here. It was like 20 cents more, so could have gotten a little more out of it. But that's a trade for more than one contract. You know, after you get this nice of a move with volume and some velocity, there's some premium that gets pumped into him. Take one, and that's all you have. Then that's all you get. I laid down after that, and so I missed this. Given it wasn't a great pullback, but you could have taken it again on the break of this magenta, just like it did here. So yep, there's that one. And then I didn't do any other trades after that. I left it alone. I was kind of napping and whatever. But you can see kind of a setup here. Didn't quite respect it the same, but did make an inverse head and shoulder here a bit. The safe one would have been right here on this inverse head, shoulder, and a break of the purple right there, or magenta. But this is such a tight range that it's just like Friday grind day, and we're just grinding at the top. So the range is tight, and that's why I'm not too into it. Even this one, like, yeah, if you got a great entry, but where's your stop on here? I mean, I don't know where my stop would even be. So I guess if you did another white one, you could do it like that. I kind of quit charting there, but let's see. So that would have to have been your stop. I guess you could do it there, but that's a long range. So left that alone. And then if you look up here towards end of day, some profit taking end of the week, finally broke gold, didn't break it all day, broke it right here. And then it's coming down, bounced and retested it nicely. So this could have been a nice entry on the retest of that gold for puts. With a stop being magenta here, because this is your liquidity being built to go to the upside. Or you could even have it lower off of that wick. Look at that, I didn't even notice that. So perfectly respected that. Rejection there, taking puts there. Could have been play for a VWAP move, or just a grind down till, you know, close this cup, this inverse cup. Those contracts probably did 100, 150%. So those are the trades. I'm happy. Green Friday. Trying to change my rep for Red Fridays, but I'm not actually trying to change that rep. I'm just trying to be flexible. If there's a good trade, to take it, but be very cautious, because typically there's not good trades and I still take them. So that's what I got, guys. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. See you on Monday. Peace out.